Changes to the rules on international travel are expected to be announced by the UK government later.
Ministers are considering scrapping the requirement for double-jabbed people returning to the UK to take PCR tests.
The traffic light system could also be simplified, with the amber list removed entirely.
Any changes would apply to England initially, as the UK's devolved administrations are in charge of their own travel rules.
Meanwhile, The Guardian and The Times have reported that dozens of countries will be removed from the red list, the highest level of alert for international travel, which means returning travelers must spend 11 nights in hotel quarantine at a cost of £2,285.
There are currently 62 countries on that list.
The removal of the amber list from the traffic light system for travel would mean countries would either be placed on the red or green list, where quarantine is not required.
Currently, travelers who are not fully vaccinated are required to quarantine upon returning to the UK from an amber list destination.
Ministers have also been under pressure to reconsider the testing requirements for travelers.
Under current rules, people arriving from green list countries must take a PCR test shortly before their return and another on their second day back in the UK.
Simon Calder, travel editor of The Independent, said holidaymakers would be hoping that the pre-flight test requirement would be removed, as it might give them greater confidence about booking trips, particularly with the October half-term school holiday coming up.
Airlines UK told the BBC that testing requirements were preventing the UK travel industry from competing with European rivals.
Tim Alderslade, the industry body's chief executive, said, "The question is if not now, when, given most of Europe has already removed them. What exactly would it take and what needs to happen?"
He said furlough support was being removed, but the travel sector was not being allowed to fully reopen while restrictions such as this remained.
"We either take this opportunity to pare back these restrictions or thousands of jobs will be at stake and our competitiveness as a trading nation will be further eroded," he said.
Hugh Merriman, the Conservative chairman of the Commons Transport Select Committee, said PCR tests were expensive and putting people off travel, while the rapid lateral flow tests were just as safe. The NHS charges £68 for a lab-processed PCR test.
Fully vaccinated people should only need a PCR test as confirmation if their lateral flow test came back positive, he said.
One justification for requiring PCR tests is that they can be used for gene sequencing and tracking coronavirus variants. But Mr. Merriman said just 5% of positive tests were sequenced in July.
"Quite frankly, people are being ripped off," he said.